If they can't physically assassinate you, they're going to look to assassinate your character. This is how the left wing propaganda machine works. It is in the business of destroying image. That's all it needs. Now, most of us, when we look at Donald Trump and all these cases that have been put on him, we believe that, oh, this is about putting this man into prison for all the terrible things that he did, right? Most of those who are buying into the propaganda, that's what you would have believe. In reality, they don't even necessarily care about getting him in prison. The ones in control of this machine, right? I'm talking about like the litigators as well as the media. So that means the DOJ, which is the Department of Justice, which has been weaponized, pretty straightforward. When you have a judge who is presiding the case, whose daughter was paid millions of dollars to campaign for Kamala, and whose wife worked for one of the main prosecutors against Donald Trump, who built the entire case against Donald Trump, Letitia James. When you have that sort of conflicting interest, I think it's pretty sus, right? So they have the DOJ, Department of Justice, as well as the left-wing media. 80% of media is left-wing, and it's owned by the same 6 corporations, okay? Simple as that. So when you have that organism working, all they're looking for is to affect public opinion. What many of us fail to realize about these court cases, if you've never been in one, then you're not missing out on anything. I have happened to be in one where there was a jury, almost made it into jury duty another time, but me and my granny friend, we were too damn loud and we got kicked out, which was the best news. But anyway, when you're on trial, there is a jury of essentially quote unquote your peers or fellow citizens who are essentially going to take the evidence and come up with the verdict. And so individuals look to affect a case based upon really personal opinions. This is how R. Kelly got away with peeing on a 14-year-old back in the day. The video was there, but yet public opinion was still on this monster's side. People were still so infatuated with the celebrity of R. Kelly. It was the Boondocks had like this whole thing of, but he can sing though. It's like, he's a monster. Did you see what he did? He's a sicko. And it's like, but he can sing though. But he sang, I believe I can fly though. You know what I mean? It's like, well, Michael Jackson, that's a real sensitive spot for a lot of folks. But he made Thriller. Yeah, but he was creepy with them kiddos. Let's be real. And so when it comes to an individual such as Donald Trump, it's amazing how these cases were all of a sudden brought up within the 8-year span, right, of him first running for president. Unassumably, the reason they didn't attack him at the same ferocity the very, very beginning, though they were targeting him, is because they never believed he would win. They thought that the deep state had this on lock. They thought that another Clinton would be in office, which meant basically the Obamas and the Bushes were still going to have influence in there. But sure enough, the Black Swan made it in. And so now they were on a full flank attack. For those next 4 years, they completely obliterated this man's entire character, his image, and they've been doing so in the last 8 to 9 years, right? Going into 9 years, where the media has been on full blitz. Everything, every resource has been allocated towards destroying this man's reputation, and even more so in the 2024 run of things, where they threw everything full flank, including, and again, this is allegedly, but we would say that influenced the literal 2 assassination attempts on his life, and one which was about to be essentially, well, it's not allegedly, there was an Iranian group who was paid, to do this job, and they were already in the country, and they were caught in the country. So, thank God for that. Inshallah, I believe, for that one right there. But back to the point at hand. This is how that machine works. It looks to defame your character. It looks to have the public see you in a certain light. Simple as that. That's all it needs. It doesn't matter if it's a true conviction, so long as people say, oh, he was convicted. Because there's a difference between an allegation and a conviction. That's what most people don't understand. You have to have that F on your report card for it to be a felony. That's a conviction. You were convicted. So now you're either going to go to prison, you're going to be on house arrest, and be on probation. Something has to happen as a byproduct. There's going to be a sentencing. So the fact that there's been no sentencing, just think about this. Rational-minded people who actually, who aren't in love with the lie and are actually looking for truth. And I know there are a lot of y'all out there, which is why, I continue to make this content. For rational-minded human beings out there, you would say to yourself, well, yeah, he hasn't been sentenced, so that means it's not a conviction, correct? But when it's the court of public opinion instead of the court of law, it is guilty until proven innocent. And there have been countless cases of individuals who are just, oh, they're guilty. And again, this machine, the left-wing media machine, uses these stories as a means to do that. Do you think it's a coincidence that 2 of Donald Trump's cabinet members all of a sudden now, out of things that they say happened 10, 15 years ago, all of a sudden, now is when they bring up these cases, these ape allegations. All of a sudden, these, with men specifically, right? These 2 men who are going to be in very powerful positions. All of a sudden, when they're picked for cabinet, now they're having these trials come up, and these so-called victims of these cases coming up. You guys don't think that's suspicious at all? Like, sometimes I'm genuinely like, do people not actually, are they not seeing this? I used to keep a lot of silence about a lot of these type of matters, but now I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I am beholden to the truth. That's what I am. I'm obliged to the truth. Simple as that. So when I see it and I see it exactly how it is, I'm like, are people not seeing this? Are you not seeing the malice in this? Are you not seeing the switch up of the media pundits who call this man Little Mustache Man, and then all of a sudden, once he wins, are trying to build a bridge and visit Mar-a-Lago and sit with them? And like, what's going on here? Are we really that? I want to believe we're not that slow, and I want to believe it's not genuine malice. But unfortunately, there are those who, even if they were told the truth by the person who told them the lie, they still want to believe the lie because they're preserving their ego. They're preserving their pride. So they just want to be right. And, it's like, for me, I will tell y'all when I'm wrong. I was a vegan for 4 years. Guys, I was wrong about that. I'm not looking to offend anybody who's a vegan out there, but I was wrong. I was wrong about what the body needs, dietary measures. I was wrong about animal proteins and fats. I was wrong for 4 years. And so I switched up and I changed my entire, my health. That's why I got the energy I got right now. I'm eating the correct foods that are made for humans and, allow us to absorb nutrients. So when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's why I could come out, be like, you know what? I spent the first 22 maybe years or so of my life wrong. 21, 22. I was wrong. The entire perspective I had politically was wrong. It was founded on a false premise. And so when it came to this right here, as far as Donald Trump, and I use him as an example because it's a powerful example, and it allows us to continue to really think critically, like think for ourselves, right? We don't have to be brainiacs and, we're doing the most meticulous type of research. It's just simple, straightforward research. It's not something you have to now study for the rest of your life. It's like there's some videos which were clipped up of Trump saying something and they, maliciously used it. So they would cut up something else. This is actually how I got to realize that Trump wasn't who they said that he was back in 2015, is when I would finally watch the whole video. And sometimes it was just like, 2 minutes of a segment. And instead of watching the 10-second clip that they showed on, whatever platform, I watch the 2 minutes and I'll be like, that's not what he said at all. And, you almost start to gaslight yourself. Like, am I hearing that? And most of the information we've been fed for so long is exactly that. The media knows how to use messaging and to repeat messaging to have it become truth to you. If you repeat a lie enough times, it becomes, that's right. If you repeat a lie enough times, it will sooner enough become the truth to you. It becomes perception. So all they look to do is to control perception, y'all. They're looking to control the way in which you perceive things, how you view things. And the most powerful thing is reputation outside of character. Character matters more than reputation. But when it comes to these public offices, even, public light as far as Hollywood, etc., night and day difference of how Beyonce was seen by the world. Right? One day Beyonce was queen. The next, she's a diddler. You know what I mean? Like overnight that happened. Public perception shifts. Now, again, is it based on truth? Evidence has to show that that is truth, that that is reality. And the character that we have in our minds oftentimes of somebody is a manufactured one, right? I went back into the crates to really get to see who has Trump been consistently throughout time, and I've seen the consistency of the exact same person the entire time. That's why he doesn't have to go back and forth and do the accents and do anything, because he knows, look, I'm me. I'm forever going to be me. Whether you like me or not is up to you. But this is who I am. He's not a politician by trade. This is the first president in American history who is not a politician and not an army general. The first. Even Reagan, who he's sometimes compared to, Reagan was an actor and then he became a governor. There was still an aspect of governance there. There was a political bent to them at some point, even though I believe that Rogan was solid on the most part, right? As far as I've researched, I'm sure the wokety wokes would tell me all the terrible things he did, like everybody else, of course. But, or at least everybody else who they don't agree with. They will praise, God, Obama, and God, Clinton. But when it comes to anybody on the right, it doesn't matter if they saved their grandma, they're still a villain. But yeah, I really wanted to get down into the nitty gritty of this, and I'll probably start making more content, just breaking down these kind of social engineering processes. Because, the thing at the end of the day is we have the power of what we consume, and therefore we have the power of perception. So we control what our lives become. I believe that we are genuinely the creators of our reality. And if we choose to consume different information, if we choose to critically think, to think for ourselves, and to move through life as individuals, as opposed to looking to attach ourselves to, some sort of groupthink. Like, I didn't become MAGA because MAGA's cool. I was actually deeply afraid to buy a red hat with the words "Make America Great Again" back in 2016. But I just became somebody who was thinking for myself, and I saw, oh, this is making more sense than that. These people are lying to me. These people are at least being more so honest, because I can validate and fact check. And now we have 4 years of this guy and 4 years of this administration. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's right in front of you. I can go and check the receipts for this. But the media will always sell you the lie. They get paid to lie. Like, that's what they are right now. That's why they lost so much viewership. MSNBC is about to go, they're having a fire sale. They're about to go out of business. CNN's been trying to sell for a long time. I think Comcast, whoever it is that owns them. MSNBC, by the way, owned by Disney. So Disney has not only ruined Star Wars, but it has also presented you with Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi Cushion Goldberg, Joyless Reed, or Joyless whatever, not Reed. Reed's the other one. Joy or Joyless, and Not So Sunny Hostile. Those individuals right there are sponsored by Disney, who is very anti-freedom at this point in time. But things are going to change around. We are in a beautiful era. I believe we're stepping into an awakening. We're stepping into the most beautiful era that humans have experienced in a very long time. But, it's growing pains. We're going to have to go through some things before we get to the promised land. So enjoy the ride and, give yourself completely to the calling and the purpose of your heart. Simple as that. Love you guys. Till the next time. Peace.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking.